We have an exercise in this video. We want to create this motion together. There are some unspoken points that I want to teach you in this session. First of all, I'm creating a new project. I make a composition in HD size with 25 frame rate. For the scene color, I choose black. To create a blue background, select the rectangle in the shape section. Double click, blue color, and delete the stroke. Now I want to draw a star. I said before that the layer shouldn't be selected. Press F2. I draw a star here. I adjust the size with the shift. And I choose white for its color. Like this. Now I want to take it off the page. I hit V and select the selection tool. And I take it there. Now we have to move this forward. How are we doing it? In the position section of the same layer that is now selected, we press P or position button. In the first frame, click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Instead, I want to teach you an easier way. You can open this position layer and create a keyframe automatically. Assume that these layers are in this form. Select the layer for which you want to create a keyframe. Tap Alt Shift and the first letter of the option you want to animate. Because I want to move this forward, I press Alt Shift P. As you see, both the position layer was opened automatically and a keyframe was created here. No need to use the previous path. We are trying to reduce the use of the mouse as much as possible. Now we want to animate this star in 2 seconds. We go in the second 2. From here, you can see the exact second. Or we go to the first of the timeline. We press Alt Shift J. Then we enter plus 200. And it looks exactly on the second 2. Now we move this star forward. You can use this number and move it on the x-axis. Before that, we have to move the anchor point. Because according to the anchor point this happens. You can use either the options below or the toolbar up there to move it. Its shortcut is the Y keyboard. Of course, we have to do it in the first frame. With the Y button, I move the anchor point and by holding Ctrl, I place it exactly in the middle of the star. Now I'm going to the second 2. I press the Alt Shift J and enter plus 200. I select the selection tool again. As I said, we can use this method. Or hold the shift and move this shape in a straight line. If I don't hold the shift, as you can see, it doesn't fit exactly in the middle. Now I go back to the first frame and hit the spacebar. So far, we've created this effect. Then we want it to rotate as it moves forward. Hit Shift and R. The rotation tool appears. And with this stopwatch, we create a keyframe. Or use the Alt Shift R and the first keyframe will create. I hold the shift. When it is on the second 2, I specify its angle. I put it on 360 degrees and hit enter. So far we made this. If you pay attention to the preview, we also had opacity, which was low at first. It was growing in the middle and finally diminished again. To add opacity, hit Alt Shift and T. First, I set it to 0%. I want it to be the same for the second 2. I hold Shift. On the second 2, I'll create another keyframe with 0%. For each frame we go to, its specifications are shown. Here, set to spin around 1 time, and next it is 0 degrees. Here too, wrote its position data. As I said, changes happen with keyframes, so they are our information package. You can see the information in the first frame of position from these 2 places. numbers 301 and 503. Same as the second two. You can see the numbers. At this place, we want to increase the opacity. I set it to 100%. As you see, it becomes bold in the middle and disappears toward the end until it finally leaves the scene. The result will be this. To reduce the work area and see only this part, if you remember, we marked the first area with B and the last area with N. To return this to the first state at the same time, press Ctrl-Alt-B, like this. Now hit N and specify the work area space. As you can see, our animation is only displayed in this range. Suppose you want to adjust the speed. Select these keyframes and drag them to the right or left to affect the speed of the star. I play the motion again. You can see that it moves at a slower speed. Let me increase the work area. Instead of manually moving these, we move them together, proportional to their distance from each other. How are we doing it? To place them 2 seconds apart, either move them manually or the better way, select the frames, hold Alt and move them. When we do this, they move according to the same ratio as we created the first frame. I put the whole work in 1 second. I also shrink the work area. Hit N. When I play it, you see that it goes faster. So by selecting all the keyframes and Alt, set the speed of your work. Now that I have increased the distance, how much slower it is. Fine. I turn it back to 1 second. I zoom in a bit to see the seconds nicely. In the previous sections, I explained to you about copying keyframes. We want this scene to last long for 2 seconds. Then come back from second 2 till 3. In the copy-paste method, we copied these 3 keyframes and paste them into the second 2. In the third second, we copy-paste the first keyframe. We Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V and put this middle frame here as well. This is not the principal way, especially when you are working on a motion. So what? We select all the keyframes and copy them. Like what we have done, paste them into the second 2. I shrink my work area. I play it. This movement is repeated. I want the opposite to happen in the second half. I choose these keyframes. In the Keyframes Assistant section, I select the Time Reverse Keyframe option. That reverses the movement of the keyframes for us. Watch the moves. It goes from right to left first and then comes back. So when you want to reverse a move, you no longer need to copy-paste keyframes separately. Here too, the position information of the first and last frame is the same. Just reverse the time for us. To create such an effect, this tool is very useful in motion graphic. I hope you enjoyed this lesson.